Good evening, everyone. Welcome to NTD Tonight. I'm David Zhang. Here is a preview of some of today's top stories. Biden strikes back against memory loss accusations. That was just hours after Special Counsel Robert Hur released his report. Names of 5 Marines who died in a helicopter crash now released. More on the fallen heroes. California banning plastic bags completely? That was what one lawmaker aims to do with her newest bill. First up, Special Counsel Robert Hur's report released yesterday on the handling of classified documents, but he did not charge President Biden with a crime. NTD's Daniel Monahan has more on the findings and their aftermath.
The report found that Biden willfully retained classified information, including top-secret documents. But Special Counsel Hur wrote that nothing proved a willful intent by Biden to illegally hold on to classified information. Hur says Biden also won't be prosecuted because he would present to a jury as an elderly man with a poor memory. The report described the president's memory as hazy, fuzzy, faulty, poor, and having significant limitations. It noted that Biden could not recall defining milestones in his own life, such as when his son Beau died or when he served as vice president. Biden reacted to that depiction hours after the report's release.
There's even reference that I don't remember when my son died. How in the hell dare he raise that? Frankly, when I was asked the question, I thought to myself, it wasn't any of their damn business.
Biden sparred with reporters after his remarks.
President Biden, something the special counsel said in his report is that one of the reasons you were not charged is because, in his description, you are a well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory.
I'm well-meaning, and I'm an elderly man, and I know what the hell I'm doing. I've been president, I put this country back on its feet. I don't need his recommendation. It's totally
How bad is your memory, and can you continue as president?
My memory is so bad, I let you speak.
Mere minutes after vigorously defending his memory, Biden committed a gaffe, referring to the Egyptian president as the president of Mexico.
As you know, initially, the president of Mexico, Sisi, did not want to open up the gate to allow humanitarian material to get in.
The classified documents found in Biden's Delaware home included some marked as the highest top-secret sensitive information level. Republican members of the House Judiciary Committee called Hur's decision not to prosecute Biden a double standard. Former President Trump was charged with crimes related to his own handling of classified information by Special Counsel Jack Smith. Hur noted in his report there were distinctions between the Trump and Biden cases, saying Trump was given multiple chances to return the documents and avoid prosecution, but did the opposite. Hur also wrote the former president allegedly obstructed justice by enlisting others to destroy evidence. Daniel Monahan, NTD News.
Now let's take a look at other top headlines. More on the presidential election. Former President Donald Trump has won the Nevada caucuses and will receive all 26 of the state's delegates at the GOP's nominating convention in July. With this win in the U.S. Virgin Islands caucuses held at the same time and picking up 4 more delegates there, Trump has now won all 4 GOP contests he's stood in so far. But Nikki Haley has vowed to stay in the race at a rally in Los Angeles. The next contest between the 2 candidates will be in Haley's home state of South Carolina on February 24th.
We have a big one coming up, as you know, in South Carolina. And the polls are indicating that we're through the roof on that one. We're leading by, I guess, 35%, 35 points.
Trump is facing legal challenges in several states that seek to strike him off the ballot. But the U.S. Supreme Court on Thursday indicated that they were likely to side with him.
So I just say that in watching the Supreme Court today, I thought it's a very beautiful process. I hope that democracy in this country will continue.
Fallen heroes named. The 5 Marines who died when their helicopter crashed during a storm in the mountains outside San Diego on Tuesday have been identified. The victims were Lance Corporal Donovan Davis, 21, of Kansas, and Sergeant Alec Langan, 23, of Arizona, both of whom were crew chiefs. Helicopter pilot Captain Benjamin Moulton, 27, of Idaho, Captain Jack Casey, 26, of New Hampshire, and Captain Miguel Nava, 28, of Michigan, were also on the ill-fated chopper and died. The crew were aboard a CH-53 Super Stallion helicopter that had departed Creech Air Force Base in Nevada en route to Marine Corps Air Station Miramar near San Diego on Tuesday night when it crashed. Heavy downpours and snow had hit the region that night. Border security. Texas is building its own border wall, and Governor Greg Abbott wants to see more of it happening.
Texas is the first and only state in the history of the United States of America to build our own border wall. If you look at the amount of wall already constructed and the amount of wall that is going to be under construction, Texas will have built more of the Trump border wall than even Trump built in the state of Texas.
Texas approved over $1 billion last year to build barriers along its border with Mexico, which is 1,200 miles long. The state has already built 160 miles of barriers other than steel wall. That includes the razor wire fence, anti-climb barriers, shipping containers, and buoys in the river. Abbott touted the success of Operation Lone Star. He said although Texas covers 2/3 of the U.S. southern border, less than 1/3 of the illegal border crossings happened in Texas in the past half a year. In California, another bill has been proposed to ban plastic shopping bags, this time to get rid of them from stores completely. Here's more from the senator who proposed it.
A new California bill announced Thursday aims to ban all plastic shopping bags in 2026. California already bans thin plastic shopping bags at grocery stores and other shops, but shoppers at checkout can purchase bags made with thicker plastic, which makes them reusable and recyclable. Democratic State Senator Catherine Blakespear said people are not reusing or recycling those bags. She points to a state study that found the amount of plastic shopping bags trashed per person grew from 8 pounds per year in 2004 to 11 pounds per year in 2021.
What is the average lifespan of a plastic bag? Bags like that, their lifespan is 12 minutes. 12 minutes. That's on average. And then how long does it take for them to degrade in our atmosphere? Over 1,000 years. So for a 12-minute lifespan and the convenience of carrying your groceries home, it goes into what some people think is recycling, but really is not recycling. It goes into our landfills, it goes into our oceans, it goes into everything we eat.
12 states, including California, already have some type of statewide plastic bag ban in place. Hundreds of cities across 28 states also have their own plastic bag bans in place. If the legislature passes this bill, it would be up to Governor Gavin Newsom to decide whether to sign it into law. When he was San Francisco's mayor in 2007, Newsom signed the nation's first plastic bag ban.
The Los Angeles City Council passed a motion that would force the owner of a downtown graffiti-covered skyscraper complex to clean up and secure the property. NTD's Christina Corona has more on the story.
The motion proposes that the owners of Oceanwide Plaza, China Oceanwide, must take action to either remove or conceal the graffiti that covers all 3 towers of the complex.
They have been served an order to comply, mandating the removal of graffiti, mandating securing the site, and cleaning up the debris.
Councilman Kevin De Leon, who introduced the motion, additionally advocates for mandating China Oceanwide to secure the site by implementing stronger fencing and employing private security personnel. The owners will have until February 23rd to clean up the site.
Should the property owners fail to fulfill their obligations within the legally allotted time frame, that is 2 weeks from today, we will not hesitate to intervene. City departments will step in to restore safety and compliance and bill the developer.
Part of the motion also directs the city to locate funds for self-performing the cleanup in the event that it has to pay for cleanup up front. The Oceanwide Plaza project, left unfinished since January 2019, drew nationwide attention last month due to extensive graffiti covering over 25 floors. 4 people were arrested for trespassing at the complex earlier this week. Christina Corona, NTD News, California.
Lightning struck twice for a North Carolina man who won the lottery 2 times in a span of 3 years. NTD's Jason Blair joins us now with the details. Thanks for joining, Jason. Now, tell us more about what happened with who might be the luckiest man in North Carolina.
Yeah, David, I can't believe lightning struck twice is what Christopher Mills told the NC Educational Lottery when he won for the second time. He had previously won back in 2021 $100,000, and then just recently he found out he won again $200,000, which he collected on Wednesday. He told the lotto company that he was both shocked and overjoyed when he found out that he won, and he said he plans on using the money to help his 2 twin sons finish paying for their college education. David?
Thanks for that report, Jason. We'll keep an eye out, and maybe lightning will strike 3 times for Mr. Mills. We'll take a short break now, everybody, but here's a look at what we have for you when we come back. Heavy snow shuts down freeways in Arizona. More on the current conditions and forecast. Romance at this weekend's Super Bowl. Taylor Swift fans are buzzing about her relationship with Travis Kelce. We'll take a closer look at the big game happening this Sunday. NTD's sports reporters give their analysis of the matchup. More on those stories coming up on NTD Tonight. Welcome back to NTD Tonight. I'm your host, David Zhang. California's recent harsh weather is migrating south to Arizona. Freeways had to be shut down as heavy snow blanketed the roads, making driving difficult.
Heavy snow shut down parts of major interstates in northern Arizona on Thursday. Low-lying clouds delayed more than 100 flights farther south in Phoenix after the severe weather that previously battered California exited the state.
It's pretty brutal, actually. About 40 miles east of here, it was nice and sunny, 47 degrees. Now all of a sudden it's 20 degrees and 5 inches of snow. Welcome to Arizona.
Dennis Fritsch, a trucker, was on his way from Georgia to Reno, Nevada for a delivery. He pulled over at a truck stop on Interstate 40 in Belmont, Arizona, anticipating the roadway would be shut down.
Hopefully the roads be open and I can get there. I just figured I'd shovel the gas station over here, help them out. I've been here already a half hour. I'm going to stay on my 10-hour break, so I'll be here another 9.5 hours. And like I said, hopefully the roads will be open by then, cleared up.
Forecasters in the mountainous northern Arizona were recording double digits of snowfall, 2 feet or more in some locations, with more expected into the weekend. Snow, ice, and whiteout conditions have forced parts of Interstates 40 and 17, which run through Flagstaff, northern Arizona's biggest city, to close. Northern Arizona will get a brief reprieve Friday before more snowfall is expected this weekend. According to the National Weather Service, there is a possible return of heavy precipitation and snow to California and Arizona between February 17th to 21st.
Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's romance is a winning touchdown for the Kansas City Chiefs and NFL, creating a pop culture phenomenon. NTD's Stephanie Sikal tells us more.
Enthusiastic fans in Las Vegas welcome Taylor Swift's presence at the upcoming Super Bowl, considering her an exciting addition rather than a distraction. The buzz surrounding the game between the Kansas City Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers revolves around Swift's relationship with the Chiefs' tight end, Travis Kelce. While not all fans may be avid Swift supporters, many see her as beneficial for the game, encouraging more women to engage in NFL.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not a big Taylor Swift fan, but I think that it's not her fault that they keep showing her, and I think she's great for the game. More women need to watch NFL. We need to get more involved in sports. I think it's great. Younger people, I think it's absolutely great. So go Taylor.
Well, we are big Taylor Swift fans, and we've been watching football. Well, I've been watching football with my daughters because they love Taylor Swift. So I feel like she's not gonna overshadow anything. I feel like it just adds more people to the game.
Eric Smallwood of Apex's marketing group calls it the Taylor effect, blending entertainment and sports uniquely. Swift's relationship with Kelsey coincided with her highly successful Eras Tour, grossing over $1 billion, outdrawing regular season NFL games in attendance. Stephanie Sikal, NTD News.
Speaking of the Super Bowl, let's go to NTD's Carlos Reyes and Tyler Castillo for an analysis of the upcoming competition.
Well, thank you, David. I'm here joined by Tyler Castillo, my fellow sports analyst, and this is a tremendous game across the board, talking about two powerhouse teams facing off once again in a rematch from a previous Super Bowl.
All right, so Carlos, I think we should start off with what are the key victories for the 49ers offense? They have a lot of weapons in their disposal, so what do you think the key factors are?
Oh, yeah, well, Tyler, like you said, we have a lot of weapons in our arsenal, and not a lot of teams are able to say that. Like you said, we have Christian McCaffrey, we have Deebo Samuel, who's always dangerous, whether he's lined up at running back or wide receiver. George Kittle has woken up at the end of the season and has been putting amazing numbers and adds a whole different layer to this offense. But for me specifically, I feel that Christian McCaffrey needs to have a huge game early on in order to make it easier for Brock Purdy. We talk about how big of a stage this is for Brock Purdy and for the San Francisco 49ers, who have been searching for a Super Bowl for way too long now.
Okay, so we covered the offense. What do you think the key factors are for the defense?
Well, we saw them struggle heavily against a Detroit Lions running game. I'm looking at guys like Chase Young who really need to wake up, especially in this time, because the defensive unit is not as dominant as we've seen in years past. I'm looking at Javon Hargrave as well. This defensive line is not playing to the standard at which they're being paid. In order to alleviate some of that pressure on the secondary, I'm looking at Charvarius Ward, Tayshaun Gibson. We need this defensive line to play cohesively as a unit in order to attack Patrick Mahomes and make him uncomfortable.
So you were talking about Mahomes, you were talking about Pacheco. Do the Chiefs have any other offensive key factors to help them win a Super Bowl once again?
Definitely, and it's a name that doesn't get brought up enough, and that is Rashee Rice. I mean, we're talking about a guy that's completely and totally underrated. When Travis Kelce is not open, Rashee Rice has always been there for Patrick Mahomes in a season where it seems like all of his receivers are letting him down. We talked about the struggles that Kadarius Toney is facing throughout the season. Marquez Valdes-Scantling having drops as well. Rashee Rice has become a really solid target for Patrick Mahomes as of late, and we saw that against the Ravens. We saw that in other games throughout the regular season.
Okay, so what about, you were talking about the 49ers defense. What about if we go to the Chiefs defense? What is that looking like? What is the key for them to help them?
Well, just do exactly what you did against the Ravens. Literally replicate it. We saw how they completely frazzled Lamar Jackson, who was an MVP caliber quarterback this season, and completely take him out of the game, whether that be passing the ball or running it himself. If they're able to get to Brock Purdy early on in the game, shake him up, really let this moment get to him and have it weigh on his shoulders, if the Chiefs are able to put pressure on Brock Purdy and eliminate the possibility for him to get comfortable throws, that's a wrap. Why don't you go ahead and give us, your prediction for the game? Who do you see breaking out? Who do you see having a huge game? And at the end of it all, who do you got winning?
Okay, well, let's start with the 49ers. As you said, Christian McCaffrey, I think he's going to have a huge game in this Super Bowl. Just as the last game when they were down by 17 points, McCaffrey stepped up, got, I believe it was 2 touchdowns in the game, and he helped the team get those extra points that were needed. I think that's going to be a huge game for McCaffrey, and I think he might win the game MVP.
Okay.
I really do think
I could definitely
49ers win it. I also do think Brock Purdy's going to step up. Just like last game, 49ers were down by like 17 points, 20 points in halftime, and Brock Purdy came back in the second half and just carried the team on his shoulders. He used his legs, he used his arms, he used everything in his arsenal to help the 49ers win.
At the end of the day, when it's all said and done, though, who do you have walking away with the Lombardi?
I think the 49ers are going to win the Lombardi. I really do think the 49ers are going to win the Super Bowl. I think all of the players that have been there since the Garoppolo era have been hungry for it. I think Kittle's hungry for it. I think Purdy wants to silence his haters. Shanahan is ready. And then just so many key players that's been on the team for way too long. They are ready to win a Super Bowl and bring back the trophy to San Francisco and the Bay Area. So I think it's going to be a close game. It's going to be a high-scoring game. But I think ultimately, at the end, the 49ers are going to take it home.
Okay, well, I mean, you heard it here, folks. Stay tuned because, like, my fellow colleague said right here, it's going to be a high-scoring game, a lot of back and forth, a lot of storylines on the table. And at the end of the day, one team is going to do whatever it takes to win that trophy.
Stay tuned for China in Focus with Tiffany Meyer coming up next. And in more China news, over $3 billion from top U.S. venture capital firms allegedly flow to companies aiding the Chinese military. Where exactly did the money go? More details coming tonight at 9:30 on NTD's China in Focus with Tiffany Meyer. And that's all we've got for you tonight. We would like you to join us again on NTD Tonight every weekday at 9 p.m. I'm David Zhang. Have a wonderful weekend and Happy Lunar New Year.